Hello, good evening. Good evening. Welcome. Um, my name is Obedako. Welcome. I want to share briefly with you master things that will add value to your life. Master things that will add value to your life. Life is short. Life is very, very short. The other day you were 10 years. Then it just happens that now you are 20 years, you are 30 years. Get into your 40. You look back and you still believe that you're young, but you're no more young. You're old. You memory. Something about memory is that memory is always fresh. I think I think that there is not much time difference in memory. So um, just the other time that you thought you were primary one, now you have finished school, and that it has taken you how many years now? Maybe 20 years, 30 years. That's why sometimes you can meet somebody who's around 50 years, 60 years. They still act like they are children. They still act like they are in their youth. Because when you are growing, it does not occur to you that much. So focus your life mastering the things that will add value to your life. Usually you meet a lot of these young men and women who have finished the so-called university education and who are looking for jobs, the so-called job opportunities, or they are looking for opportunities. They are looking to do something with their lives. But in between the time that they are finished the school and the time that they get a place to work, what I've seen is that very few of them focus on adding any value to their lives. Very few, very few. And what why I say that is that when you interrogate them, when you interview them, when you put up an argument with them, when you put up a debate with them, when something comes up for discussion, you can see that the things that they can put up with are just about a few things that are coming from their course, their university days, the academics. That's the only thing that they can talk about. If you shift the argument to any other area, they are so much limited, so much, they become shrunk, a bit myopic, and that's all that they have to offer. You bring the same argument to sports, to entertainment, to politics, sometimes to religious discussions, and those people light up. And what I've seen about life is that you're looking for a job, you're looking for an opportunity, you're looking for something. Your information that you have on entertainment, on sports, on the politics that the Kufuor and his people are doing, those kind of information, they are not going to change anything. They are not going to add any value to you unless you are the communication director of a political party or things like that, then maybe you follow the politics, maybe, because that becomes your profession. But you are a young man who finished school, you have finished your national service, nobody is helping you, you have nobody to connect you to anything, and you've been at home 3 years, 4 years, and you have not added any value to your life. Added any value to your life. You are always listening to radio. And the kind of radio programs that you are listening to, they add nothing to you. Political discussions in the morning, in the afternoon, all this kind of relationship and politics. In the evening, you are listening to news. When you are reading anything, you're reading daily graphic, politics newspapers, or something about marriage. When do you think you're going to create the value to create the life that you want? Because if you have been waiting for this job for 2 months, 3 months, 2 years, and nobody is picking you, and you are talking and saying that there is no opportunity, perhaps, but what have you added to the certificate that you had? What have you added? When you talk about value, you should focus on the things that are important. Not everybody wants to be successful, I think. Not everybody really wants to create the future for themselves. Not many people want that. But you can see some people, They're just ignorant. They don't know the kind of value that they have to create. So sometimes you get people to send you, ask you, I want a place to work. This is my CV, and you can see that genuinely they want some kind of livelihood, but they are not aggressive enough for me. And so you have to add value, master something, master. What book can you pick to read? What topic do you think is needed for the future that you want? What is it that you have identified that you want to become? How much of information have you added in those areas? How many skills or how much of skill development you have committed yourself to? Because the school, the university that's the problem with people who have gone to school. They believe so much in certificate. So much, especially those of us here from Africa. So much believe in certificate. Said that we think the value that we ever needed was the certificate. And therefore we come out and we have opinion on everything. But the very things that will add value to our lives, we know nothing about it. We had a guy who worked with us for some time, and every time that this guy would come to the office, he had his earphone. And what was he listening to? Politics. And you give him work and he can't even do it. And the little opportunity that he gets, he wants to screw things up. And there are so many of them. They are not ambitious enough. They are not committed enough to create the very lives that they wish. So master. If you're going to master something, master that which will create value for the future that you want. And usually they start with the kind of knowledge that you really need for the future. So whatever that you want to become, master that. Read books on that. Study. School yourself in that. Whatever that you want to become. And I hope you want to become something great. If you want to start a business, gather information on that. School yourself. Read books. Study. Commit yourself to knowledge. Commit yourself to information. Commit yourself to become something far better than what you were 2 months, 3 months, 5 months ago. That is the only way you're going to add value to your life. Commit yourself. Practice something. Go and learn how to make something. Because those are the things that are going to define your future. It's not you it's not you moving the yes, you are looking for a job. It's important. But in between the time that you're looking for a job, what knowledge are you adding to yourself? Do you even know how to go for the interview and qualify? Do you know? Do you know what clothes to wear to go for an interview? You're going for an interview and the colors that you have worn, nobody wants you for the position that you want. You are saying that you have studied accounting. Do you think that if they give you something to prepare the books, to prepare something right in the interview, do you think you can do that? We have had people who will go for interviews. They say that they have BSc accounting, and yet if you ask them, can you prepare a statement of accounts or something like that in the field that they studied, that becomes trouble. People have finished computer degree, BSc in computer something, and they ask them, can you develop a program? Can you code? And it becomes trouble. The same person, he knows everybody in his political party. He knows everything about Ronaldo. He knows all the teams. He knows every one of them. Some of them, I dare say, will come and quote Bible scriptures. But the very thing that they are doing the interview in, nothing. I heard a story where somebody has finished school, the so-called degree, and he was being interviewed, and they asked him, do you know what a courier service is? The guy didn't know it. Why? It's because most of them just get so much limited in the course that they read. And so when they were in school, especially, they never read anything. They will never read anything outside the course that they are doing for the marks. So the guy is doing, let's say, BSc Business Administration. Anytime that you see him with a book, it's only about BSc Business Administration. If the guy is doing engineering, anytime you see him with any book at all, it's a textbook. There's no value beyond the classroom content, beyond the academic content. And so the people become so much limited. When they come out and there is nobody to help them, they cannot engineer their lives out of the draw. And you have a lot of them around. Very few even have the right work ethics. They get a job, and that's the first job. Most of these guys, most of the people that we have produced, the first job that they ever have or they have ever had is the one at the national service level. The national service level. That's the first job that they have ever had. Most of them, and they are in their 20s, maybe 20, 19, 20, 21, 22. The time we finish school, maybe 22 or something like that. And most of us, the first work that we ever had was the national service job. And so we could not work with under instruction, and we could not work to get results. And yet the guy has after the national service, he is at home. He will not even pick a cleaning job, or he will not even pick a retail job, or he will not even pick a security job. He doesn't know how to work. He doesn't know how to come to work and work on time and do the things that have been assigned to him. But he can debate. Add value to yourself. Master the things that are important for your future, because that future will come. You blink and 10 years has come. You know, the thing is that every 10 years, there's a major shift in your life. Every 10 years. The first 10 years, there was a major shift. The second 10 years, there's a major shift. The third one, there's a major shift. And life, I've seen it, that the first 3, decades, the first 3 years, the first 10 years, a lot of the things that you're going to be will be so much solidified or consolidated in that. So every ethics that you have learned, everything that you have learned, possibly the ones that you have mastered, the first 30 years, they will follow you to the next 30 years. So master something. Master. Don't let the unemployment, don't let the business that you're doing that you're not seeing top, in quote, don't let those frustrate you. In the middle of the things that you think are not working, commit to adding value to yourself. Raise your value. Every country that you live in, every culture that you were brought up, your results must not reflect the culture. It must be above the culture. And you can only do that when you have added value to yourself beyond what the culture gave you, beyond what the school gave you, beyond what the society has ever given you. If every debate that you can put up with is that which is coming from the school that you went to, or the culture that you went to, or the church that you go to, if every argument, if everything that you know is just the common things that everybody else knows, you have trouble. You will not be able to do much than what everybody else can do. The difference between, I dare say that the difference between Joy FM and Peace FM is English. If you really weigh the content, it's the same. Why? Because people have not added value. So you have one journalist, he mastered everything. If it's health, he knows it. If it's policy, he knows it. If it's academics, he knows it. Everything that they know. They have not picked one area to say that this is what I know and this is what I want to master. And if you pick me from Ghana to Togo, I'll be able to deliver the same standard. If you pick me from Togo to Japan, I will be able to deliver the same standard. If you pick me from here to India, I will be the best of that. Can you commit your life to say that this one thing, or this 2 or 3, I'm going to master them? So if you are into business, are you mastering the things that are needed in business? Are you focusing? I have people, or I know people who are doing business, and you can see that they are committed, they are aggressive, they are focused. You can see their energy, but hardly do you see them committed to updating their knowledge. You hardly see them with a book. You hardly see them with a video training themselves. You hardly see them with an audio training themselves. So everything that they are processing is just the old information that they are trying to recycle. It does not work, especially in that kind of environment. You've got to have a structure, have a system to add value to yourself. Don't settle with this thing that you call, oh, this is Ghana and this is how you know what you know. Your knowledge must be standard. Whatever that you know must be standard. You must commit to learning the best in what you do. If you are a doctor, you must subscribe to, the best of magazines in the field that you're operating. If you're, let's say, maybe a heart surgeon, you are whatever those things. Every time, magazines that are in that field, worldwide, you subscribe to them. If nothing at all, electronic ones, where you can read the best of information, the best of data, the best of technology in that field. If you're a journalist, same. Get the best in that field. If you're an entrepreneur, subscribe to all these magazines across board. Those in Ghana, those in Africa, those around the world. Read articles, modern day articles. Read constantly. Upgrade your there is no, if you don't know it, you can do it. You can only know, you can only do what you know. That's the basic principles of life. You can only do better when you know better. And so when our environment, we go for everything. We think that every knowledge is needed. You don't need every knowledge. You only need the knowledge that will help you to succeed where you want to go. The goals that you have set for yourself, the knowledge that you need is the knowledge that is needed in that goal. So let's say what is it? Maybe you want to become a lawyer, or you want to become the best of lawyer. That is where you have to focus to become the best. So you need knowledge in that. You don't need knowledge in football to become the best lawyer. And that's why we have seen a lot of our people do. They think that they can just succeed and become excellent, in what they do just because they just, who they are. No, you must commit to the best and add value. Let people see that you're committed. You have energy. You're possessed with your dream. Let it be seen. If they employ you in any company, decide to become the best there. Master everything that is in your department and possibly go, so that everybody who is looking for somebody, they will look for you. You go there 3 months, 4 months, and they are calling you, and people have been there for 2 years and nobody calls them because they are not focusing on the things that will add value to themselves. You have decided to pick this job. Why go there and behave like a lazy boy? No, go there and decide that this is the area that I've come to work. And so for the time that I'm going to be here, I am going to be the best in this. Maybe you are in sales. Read about it. Go to work, practice it. The thing is, you read and you practice. You read and you practice. You read and you practice. And become so much consumed and obsessed with the dream, with achievement, with where you want to go. Whatever field that you are in, decide to become the best there. Decide to become the best there. Master the things that are needed to add value to your life. Master them. Because life is short. The other day it was 2008. I just remember that. It was just 2008. Then it goes to 2010. Now it is 2018. So fast. I remember when they said that they were going to play football in a World Cup in Russia. It seemed that far. Remember those times? It seemed that far, very far. And yet it has come and it's gone. They have gone to play the ball in Russia. And if I was maybe 20 years now, no, 5 years, 20, maybe 10 years has come to. And the future is like that. Now they are deciding, they want to go and play the next 2020 football. It will come and it will catch up that quickly. And so focus on mastering the things that are important, the things that will add value to your life. What are the things that you need to become successful in the things that you are doing? What is it? What are the things that are important to you? Do you know what is needed for you to become a great achiever in that? That's how you succeed all around the world. If you look now, most young men and women are committed to achieving something with their lives, and they put their heart in it. Life is that whatever you put in the time, that's what you're becoming. So if you put your time in football, that's what you're mastering. You may not be a commentator, you're just watching it. So let's say 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Half of those times you are watching football, you are calculating lotto, you are just doing some things that will not. Whatever you put in time is what you're becoming. Whatever you commit to do, that's what you're becoming. And so when you go to work, that job that you have, you just go 9 o'clock, 5 o'clock, you have packed your things, you go home. That's what you're becoming. If I pick a job, I would rather want to put a lot of hours in that job and to become the star in that place that people can trust, can depend on. If they say that I should deliver 2, I want to deliver 10. If they say that I should deliver 3, I want to deliver 5. Become so much productivity conscious wherever you work. That's how you become great. It's not magic. People who have become successful in anything, who have achieved a lot, they have achieved a lot because they put the time in it. That's the only way they succeeded. So when you are waiting for magic, you are thinking that God will come. God is the one that is going to make you successful. And then what did He give us? Time. It is the time. What you put in the time is what you're becoming. So master the things that will add value to your life. Master it. Don't be in haste. Just train. Build up your muscle. You see, when they go for the Olympic, the guy with the muscle, his muscle does not look like mine. because I've not invested any time building this muscle. The things that you're investing your time in, those are the things that you are building your muscles in. So if the things you are building your life in are not the things that are important for the future that you want, switch, change it, because that future will come that quickly. Whatever that you want to become great in, that's where you invest your time. Don't spread your time everywhere. Don't dissipate your time everywhere and think that you become great in anything. And if when you see other people who have achieved a lot, don't just say that, oh, it is God, or they played a major role. Maybe the part that God played was the principles that he set that the guy found out. So master the things that are important. Great nations have mastered the things. They have mastered the things that have added value to them. That's why they are great. Great families have done that. Great companies focus on the things that are adding value constantly. And great individuals, the same thing. If you meet any extraordinary achiever, it's not because they were born that way. It's not because that some power somewhere made them great. No, it's because they mastered it. They saw that if I commit to this and I give myself to this whole, and I focus and become, because that thing that you want to become must take control of your mind, of your being. You get up in the morning, that is what you're thinking of. Anything that you want to become great in, that's how it happens. It has to capture every mind that you have. Every day you're thinking. Let's say you want to write a book. Everything about it is you're always thinking about it. You're meeting people, you're talking, you're planning, you're structuring, you're developing that skill. Let's say you want to become you're an inventor. You want to develop something. That is what you want to commit yourself to. Every time you get up in the morning, you are writing all the inspirations that are coming up. You're connecting. Who do I meet? You don't have time to waste. When your friends are looking for somebody to go and eat or mutual, not everybody wants to become great. But if you think that you want to become great, then you cannot just behave like those who don't want to go anywhere. Life is not by force. Everybody has their choices. You have your choice, and I have my choice. You just have to respect the choices of people. If somebody wants to, fool all their lives, that is their life. But if you think that you want to become somebody, then just have the principles set rightly, that you cannot master anything without adding value to yourself. You cannot become great in anything that you want to do. Not in this life, when you just do things anyhow. If people are going to work 3 hours, you want to put 10 hours in it. When you were in school, some people were very much intelligent. They were always they were scoring the 90, they were scoring the 100. You know why they were scoring those things? It's because they were studying. It's not because they had brains. No, forget. It's because they committed to studying. They were solving all the past questions. They were going the extra classes. When everybody is sleeping, they are marking. They are going through the textbook. That's why they became great. It's not because they were so much intelligent. It's just far, and it's not the norm. It's because they invested their time. They wanted to become the first boy in the class. They wanted to become the first. That's why the other guys who were always partying, looking for the girls, they will not be the first. Why? Because they were not investing. They were not mastering. They were not adding value to themselves. So, beyond the classroom, say with your life. If you want to change the things that you want to change, if you want to build your business, commit to it. Absolute. Pay attention. Become the best in it. Learn how to become the best in building your business. Master the finances. Study it constantly. Master how you're going to manage people. Study it constantly. Innovate on the product, on the processes. Think, study the market structure. Identify the kind of people that you can employ to work with. Master whatever you're doing. If you have a job, don't take that job lightly. And don't go and just be talking behind everybody and say that, oh, let me myself, I want to leave this job. Really? You prayed for this job, now you have it, and you are now the boss. No. Become the best. You see that energy that you had when you entered that workplace the first week. Don't let that energy go away. Don't, because that is the energy that will make you great. If you can keep and upgrade that energy, that passion, that enthusiasm that you had when you had that job, if you can keep that going, that's how you become great. But usually most people are so much low in energy that they were so much happy to have had that job. After 1 year, now they are talking badly about that job. They are complaining. They are looking for all the bad things about that company. You never become great that way. Keep that passion. Keep that energy, and you have got to find a way of making sure that fire does not go down. Because it's in you. That's why you become great. If you meet anybody who is ambitious, who is committed to achieving anything, one thing you will see is that you can see commitment in their lives. If they say that I want to do this, they don't play. They don't play. They commit to it. They want results, and they are looking for. They are not looking for praises, and they are not. They are not focusing on what somebody else is saying. Because it's in them. Even if you talk them down, yes, they become calm a minute. The next day, they are on fire. Why? Because it's in them. They have added so much value to themselves that wherever they show up, they explode. That's what you have to do. So that when you go to any company to work, it's not there, or this company is not there. No. When you come, people get you. When you come, the value that you have added to yourself. When you show up, that energy is infectious, it's contagious. Because that's how you have developed your mind. That's how you have developed yourself. That's how you work. That's how you are. So people who have not added value to themselves, they enter anywhere, and you see that by the time they enter, all the energy is dissipating. Why? Because there's no value. They don't bring any presence. You have to add value to yourself. That's how you change your life. That's how you change the situations of your life. That's why you don't you don't blame people for what happens in your life. Why? Because when you have added value to yourself, you know that, oh yes, people can contribute to the mess, but eventually it's your life. And you have the power to change that life. If you're committed to adding value to yourself, that's how it happens. You don't waste a lot of energy. It's like programming. It's a build-up. You check the way you look at any issue is always different from the way everybody else will look at it, because what is feeding you is different. The books that you're reading is different. The things that you're thinking about is different. The videos that you're watching is different. There is difference in knowledge, actually. That if you are always weak in terms of energy, in terms of drive, you are always exhausted. It's because the kind of things that are feeding you are weak. That's why you are always exhausted. That's why you're always weak. You're fearful. You don't have that hope. You don't have that passion. You are not energized. It's because something else is feeding you. And that thing is not adding value to your life. And so generally, in our country, you see that people listen to a lot of radio. They watch a lot of TV. Social media, and the things that we are discussing is always about, politics and, religion and sports and entertainment. And the world has been carved that way, to feed us with the trivialities. That's how the world has programmed us. The same world is pushing us to, when you have a bad situation, they put it on TV, people become, sad, and, they show mercy, those kind of things. But the same world should be pushing a lot of information that will help us to live beyond our situation. But that's not it. That's not it. The world, I don't know who programmed it that way. But we are very much soft on the things that will add value to people, but very much, up in terms of looking for sympathy. When you are adding value to yourself, you don't look for sympathy. Look for the energy that you can build constantly. The things that you can build to change your situation. So if you have finished school, you have completed university, and you have finished your national service, and you're looking for a job and it's not coming, don't quit. Keep going. But just as you're moving from one office to the other, dishing out your CVs and asking for favors, don't forget that which you can add to yourself. Add value. Read books. Study. Change your energy. Change the way you look at life. Become so much positive. Look for productivity. Look for commitment. Build your ethics. Build your value. Respect people. If they commit anything to you, make sure that it becomes better than when they left it with you. Take out this complaining and murmuring and accusation and thinking that somebody else disappointed you. That's where you are, especially business. When you're building business, anybody can cross you, and the next minute you lose a lot of money. If you don't take care, you will spend years blaming those people who came into your life and push you into something that you lost a lot of money, collapse your business. Yes, you collapse the business, but you're not dead. What else can you do? You know, somebody else came into your life and they destroy everything that you built. It's true. But if you forget about adding value to your life, you will spend all your life blaming and worrying and accusing and becoming bitter at what somebody else did to you that made you stagnant. You know, it made you stall for years. You can only stagnate. You can only get stalled. You can only stand still when you refuse to add value to yourself, because that value is what is that which puts fire in you. It gives you drive. So look at the things that are important to the future that you want. If you don't do that, then life will beat you, because life comes with a lot of oppositions. The only way that you can have better energy more than the opposing forces is when you constantly add value to yourself. And a lot of it is how you develop the mindset. You have to develop a mindset that conquers, that kills. Mindset that is bigger than the situations of life. You have to, that's the frame of thinking that you have to develop. And so you're not waiting for somebody else to give you favor and begging and crying and weeping. No, you live beyond that kind of culture of subservience. Your culture. You always look begging for government official to give you a hand. No. You can always, if you have added value to yourself, and if you continue to add value to yourself, you can always start from where you are. That's something about life. If you commit to adding value, believing in yourself, developing a skill, changing your mind, committing to your goals, being willing to start from where you are, not taking people for granted, valuing people, respecting people. Those things are all values. If you have those, they open doors for you. Because those are the things that people are looking for. The world is looking for those who have added value to themselves, those who can deliver, those who can get results. The world is not looking for those who are complaining and waiting for help. The world is not. Most people are not looking for that. Everybody, every company, even though they have suppliers, they have people they do business with. If you go and you can do better than the other guys that they've been doing business with, they will give you an opportunity. They will give you a try. There's always something. There's always somebody who is looking for that what you have. You just have to add more so that when they give you that opportunity, you can deliver. The only difference between those who win and those who fail is that those who fail refuse to upgrade themselves, to change their mind. They settled. Countries who have been poor forever, it's because they settled. They didn't master on things that are very much important. So master the knowledge that is important. Master the skill that is important for where you want to go. Don't, because it's 24 hours a day. It's what you put in that time is what is going to add value to you. And the more value that you add to yourself, the more drive that you have, the more achievement that the more you can achieve with your life. And the less you will complain. So when people meet you, you are always becoming better. When people meet you, you are always on the drive. No matter what happens with your life, you still keep going. Because that is what builds you up. So when you find yourself stuck with pain, with bitterness, with fear, with apathy, when you find yourself stuck with mistrustfulness, it's because you have decided not to add value to yourself. When you find yourself stuck with things that are killing you, maybe you are stuck on drugs, stuck on things that are destroying your body, it's because you have given up on yourself. When you come back to your senses and you start to pay attention to the things that will help you to move forward, that's the point that you start to take charge of your life. So master the things that are important, the things that are adding value to your life. Don't wait for anybody to help you. If they come, praise the Lord. If they don't come, keep going. As a matter of fact, if anybody happens to meet you, let them be the ones feeling lucky that they met you. Don't be the one begging and going to say, I'm very happy that today all the troubles, let's say the president calls you. The president should call you because you're achieving something. The president should not call you because they want to help you. The president should call you, say that there's a problem that we think that you are the only person to solve it. That way, it means that you've been adding value to yourself. And when you go, the respect is different from the one that they call to help. The respect is different because you are productive, because you're needed, because you have something that they want. The respect is different. The respect is different. When you start to do something with your life, everybody around you, they give a different kind of respect. Let's say you're a young girl, you are at home, you don't have any job, you don't do anything. When your mother and father, when they are going to work, the way they will talk to you is different from when you are going to work. When they have to give you money to go and buy food, you have finished school, you're at home 3 years, they don't know what you're doing. When they are going, they said, did you take this and go and find something? And when they go out, they are talking to their friends, they are very sad for you. They feel sorry for you. They say that my daughter finished school and she has nothing to do. And the only reason why you can be at home for 3-4 years and you say that you have nothing to do is because you have refused to add value to yourself. You have refused to pay attention to the things that will help you to change the situations of your life. And usually it's because you didn't read, you didn't build, you didn't set goals, you didn't commit to any training, you are not committed to anything to do with your life. There's no way you will meet anybody who has ever been in the house for 5 years and who was training himself beyond the classroom. It's not possible. He will find something to do. That's the thing. Those are the things that push people into doing something with their lives. When we finished school, yes, we didn't have anybody to help us, but we were reading all the time. We were studying. We were just reading something. And when you read, knowledge concentrates. Knowledge pays up. The right knowledge. Not the if you don't have a job, you have no business reading novels. You don't have a job. That's a problem that you have to solve now. If you are broke, you have no business reading about politics. What do you need politics for? You are broke. You don't have a job. You don't have anything. The kind of knowledge that you need is the knowledge that will help you to solve the problem that you have at that point. So you don't have a job. So what kind of books do you read? I want to start a business. So I start to read business books. I want to do something with my life. I want to pick a book. How do you start something? You start to read maybe 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books. After a while, you start to think. They spark some thoughts in you. Then you start to talk to people. Then you start to move here. By the time you see it, you are doing something that you never thought you could do. Why? Because you started to add value to yourself. So when you meet people saying that they don't have any job, the truth is that it's not a job that they don't have. They have given up adding value to themselves. They have given up going from one office to the other looking for a job. They have given up trying to do something with the little that they have. So master the things that add value to your life. Because life is so short, so short. You'll be just 50 the next day. They thought you were a teenager, your mother was, now you're growing. So don't waste. 5 years gone in the house doing nothing is 5 years that you'll never get. 2 years gone doing nothing is 2 years that you'll never get. So if you don't have anything to do, after all, read a book, study something, try your hands on something. Try. What is it that you think you can do? Even if you have no master, even if you have no expertise in it, what is it? Can you ask somebody to help you? There is always something that you can do from where you are. That is if you start to add value. You will be able to think differently from all the other people, the way they think. So commit to that. Add value. Become more ethical. Become more serious. Become somebody that people can trust. Those are all value addition. Become somebody will say that this one, if you want somebody to do this job, this is the guy that you have to give it to. If somebody wants to hide something from somebody or they want to keep their money, they can say that this is the guy that you can give money to. Why? Because you have added value to your character. You have added value to your delivery. If they want somebody to go and say something, they are looking for you because of what you put in yourself. They say that I think they said one of those great boxers said that the fight is not won in the ring, no. It's won in the training. And that is true. The things that you're training with, those are the things that you're going to win with. Life is not just, if you see somebody doing any great things with their life, go and ask them what they train with. What is it that they're training with? Whatever you're training with are the things that are adding value to you. So maybe you are not a footballer, maybe you are not a boxer, but maybe You are a manager in a place that you're working. What is it that you're training with? Don't say that, oh, when I get up in the morning, I go to work, I come back, I'm very exhausted, I can't read anything. Really? You can't read anything? The best in your field, they are reading. They're studying the field. They are reading constantly. That's why they are the best. They're going for seminars. They are training themselves. They are not going with old knowledge. They have changed the thing and you still stuck with that old knowledge. And you want to become the best in that field, it never happens. It never happens. Every field, there's constant change of knowledge, constant upgrade of knowledge, constantly, every day. So you go to work, you come home, you're exhausted, you're sleeping. You're not reading anything, you're not studying anything, you're not listening to anything. The only time that you want to do something, you say, hey, I want to listen to Peace FM. I remember there was a time that a woman was telling me, I will crash a pan, I won't carry newspaper across. She was accusing me that I don't read newspapers. So when I pick the newspaper, what do I see? Obituary. The things that I see, they don't add any value to me. So you have to commit to the things that will add value to you. Don't trivialize knowledge. Don't trivialize training and think that you become great. No, because no skill is built without the fundamentals. Those are the knowledge, the training, the perspective, the way you think about anything. If you're not constantly upgrading it, you're not going to become great in that. So focus, master the things that add value, because those are the things that you fight with. Your strength is out of the value that you have added to yourself. So if anything breaks you, if anything makes you sad, if anything makes you fearful, if anything makes you diminish, it's because you have not paid attention in adding value. So raise that standard. Raise that standard and constantly fight. Those who give up in life is because they gave up on adding value to themselves. You can never give up if you're committed to adding value. If you're paying attention to the things that are important, you will never give up. Never. You see, when let's say you get up in the morning and you listen to the news, on the radio, for the rest of the day, you're talking about that. They went to kill this one, they went to do this, those are it. If you get up in the morning and you read something that is very much instructive, very much helpful to that which you do, the rest of the day, that's what you're thinking about. Then you start to get new ideas in that. So whatever that you're doing, if you start, you say that, okay, today I'm going to think about finances. And you read a few. You don't have to be reading 2 hours, no. Just 30 minutes, a page. Maybe you buy a book. So from January to this what is the month now? July. How many pages of shit have you read? Because those are proof that you are adding value to yourself. How much have you practiced in that which you do? Those are proof that you are committed to adding value to yourself. How many videos that you have watched that are training you in the things that you do? Because if you don't do those, you give up. You settle, you give up with your life. There are so many people who have given up. They have a job, they have a business, they have a career, but they have given up. The passion of life is gone. The enthusiasm is gone. Life is, they drag themselves through life. Life was not meant to be lived dragging yourself. Life was meant to be lived with passion, with joy, with happiness, with obsession. You drive through life jubilant, or jubilating, if that's the English word. So that if you become, one of the things that will make you, what you have to question is when you have come to a point in your life that you are so much exhausted, you feel hopeless, you feel like there's no more to live, nothing more, there's nothing exciting about the future. It means that you have given up adding value to your life. Life must be always exciting. There's always something that you are setting up to become, and you're adding value to get that dream. So you achieve this, you set the next one. You achieve this, you set the next one. That's how life is lived, and that's why that's why you can meet somebody, especially the old business guys. The guy is about 80 years and he's still taking new projects. The other time I saw a top CEO in our country, and he came to his business place. And this guy is like maybe 87 or something. And he was still thinking of starting a new project. I'm like, wow, this guy never gives up. He never gives up. That's it. There's always something that you're setting. And the moment you are setting new goals, those will make you go and look at what you need to get those goals realized. And that is value addition. So when you're setting, every time when you're setting something for yourself, life becomes, you are almost always adding, looking for something, looking for new ideas, looking for new friends, looking for new things. You're always looking because you're setting goals and it's exciting. But most people, they settle. And they settle with politics, they settle with sports, they settle with sometimes religious activities. They're going nowhere. They have settled and they have not achieved much. Oh, they have not achieved anything, but they are settled. Why? Because they are not committed to adding value to themselves. So commit to that. That's where the joy of life is. You're always daring. You're always looking for new ideas. You're always thinking. There is always somebody who knows more than you do. Are you looking for them? Who are those who are training you? Who are those you listen to? The guys that you are listening to, they should be inspiring you to look within you, to extract the greatness within you. You should not listen to people and become sad and you want to give up. Always look at that which is training you. Look for that. Set new dreams, especially those of us in Africa. Almost every sector needs a better way of service. Every sector. Whether it's construction, whether it's real estate, whether it's the government itself, the police, the retail people, mining people, the woman who is selling wache, kelewele. Every sector needs better quality customer service. Okay? And it's embedded in the value that you have for people. So there's so much we can add. So much. So there's no excuse. If you're a manager in a place, so it's obvious that the service is not good. There's so much you can add. There's so much you can bring on board. So much. So there's no excuse. Constantly. Nobody else, nobody else can tell you that you have reached. You have not reached anywhere. If you look at our continent, there's so much to be done. Nobody has reached anywhere. If you're the richest in a poor country, listen, they describe you by you being poor. No matter. They look at you and they will not say it in front of you, but when they go, they are laughing at you. This guy thinks he's rich, but his people are very poor. So you have to inspire everybody to dare to dream and to become great. And that is where they have to decide to focus on the things that will add value to them. The things that will bring the best in you. Africa, that's what we need. And so until you stop wasting your time on the things that are not adding any value to you, you will never focus on the things that will add value to you. There are so many things that are not adding value to us as Africans. There are so many of them. And there are so many. They will push you to go for funeral, they will push you to go for this, they will push you to go for that, and they will tell you it's tradition, it's culture. Culture must be productive. You cannot dare to achieve anything, build anything with your life, and be so much locked up in these things. Every funeral you are there, every naming ceremony you are there, everything you are there, everything. Your friends' mother is there, then every weekend you are there. You're burning fuel, you're burning money, you don't buy books to upgrade your life. You get to 50 and you see that you have not done much because you wasted the years, you wasted the time. And so if you're going to add value, look at the things that you're spending your time on. Look at the things that you're listening and watching. Look at the things that you're practicing, you're doing. Those are the things, because it takes a long time for you to become an expert in anything. And make sure that you become an expert in something that is valuable to you and to society. So you're a nurse, but you have mastered Manchester United. It is not going to add any value to you. Let the coaches, let the referee master that. But you master that which you're doing. Become great in that which you're doing. You're a manager somewhere. Don't waste every minute that you have, you're watching football. What do you need it for? There's so much to be done. And yet every time, you say that let's well away times more. So 3 hours every week. This is what you're doing. And you still doubt and you still are shocked of why you're not going anywhere. If you're stagnant, it's because your life, you have stopped adding value to yourself. The very things that you need to grow in, you say that the tradition goes on Kisop concert party. You never read, you never study, you never learn anything new, you never read any book, you don't buy. When is the last time you bought a book and you're reading? Even if it's a foreign book. What was the subject? What did you study in? The things that you are struggling in, whether it's the family, whether it's the business, whether it's the finances, whatever that is. Maybe it's a product that you're developing, maybe it's a business that you're developing. What is the source of knowledge? Are you learning? Are you upgrading your knowledge all the time? Are you studying? Are you finding out? Are you assessing any data on that? If you're not doing that, then you're not adding value. You're not adding value. And time is passing like that. Then you look back and say that, then that's why they run into politics, to go and steal. Because the time that they had to build muscle, build skill, build expertise, they wasted them. So commit to something. Commit to becoming better. Commit to add value to your life. Commit to that. And the more in this life, the value that you have is only because of the value that you put in yourself. So the things that you're putting, the things that you're studying, let your philosophy be strong. Become a champion. Don't let anything just break you. You meet any difficulties more, you just become frozen. You give up. You have tried a thing 3 times and it didn't work and you have given up. It's because your value is little. You can't give up on your dream. You can't give up on yourself. You tried a thing, people disappointed you, and you say, no, I won't give it. I won't try again. You tried that thing, it became trouble for you, became dead. Fight back. Who is not fighting anything? Everybody is fighting something. That's your summit. Fight it back. Don't let it be. Don't feel like you're stupid because you made mistakes like that. No. It's a mistake that came. Fight it back and you win. But if you're not adding value, those mistakes will kill you. Those mistakes will eat you up. Those errors will crush you. You crash one business, don't worry. Go and try another one. You crash another one. Do it. After all, they say that a lot of these great guys, they crash about 10. You have just crashed one and you're crying. Why are you crying? You just did this one, it didn't work. Maybe you started to build a house and people came and destroyed it. Don't give up. But you will give up if you stop upgrading your knowledge. If you stop adding value to yourself. You'll be so much pain on the losses. Some people cannot leave 5,000. Yeah. How? Go to court and chase the 5,000. Go to court and chase millions, not 5,000. Don't waste anybody's time. If somebody cheated you 5,000, don't go into any court. Go and get more. Go and fight. Go and focus. Go and build. If a partner run away with the business, there will be another partner who will not run away with it. But you will not see that, you will not have that kind of perspective if you're not adding value to yourself. If you're not getting the best of team, the best of people, if the people around you are people who are negative, who are myopic, who are little-minded, who are today people, your value will shrink. So it's not only the books, the people as well. What great people do you associate with? What great minds do you interact with? Those who want to conquer something or those who want to steal? That choice is yours. That choice is yours. So create an environment that you are constantly adding value to yourself. Constantly listening to something great. Constantly watching something great. Constantly reading something great. Constantly practicing something. It's not just about listening, it's also about practicing. The ideas that you're getting, practice them. The business you started, now it is 2. Now it is 3. Now you're making more sales. Don't settle. Don't say that, oh, I've done well, I thank God. Then that's it. No. That is the beginning. That is the start. People have done great things because they never got satisfied. So you cannot be satisfied. You can't. Especially if you are from this continent. It's constant upgrade. Constant. We have to constantly be upgrading ourselves and never settle and never take people for granted. Never try to, be so much self-focused. If you see people who has that much self-focus, it's because they don't believe in value addition. If you add value, your eye will open to to see the value in other people as well. You see the value in other people as well. So master that. It's our choice. The time is, 24 hours given to all of us. And it's your choice what you put in that time to add value to yourself. And what you open your mind to. What you see. It's your choice. It's nobody's choice. What you call achievement is your choice. But if you continue to upgrade yourself, add value to yourself, you see that you will not call little things little things achievement. So thank you very much for watching. Master the things that will add value, that will give you value to create the future that you want, because nobody else is responsible for your future. Haven't you lived the why? Haven't you seen that everything that you have done because you wanted to do them and you were committed to do them? Even if anybody helped you, they helped you because they saw something in you and you were able to take it to the next step. So if you're not adding that, when they give you the opportunity, what would you come with? What would you? And when you add value, you become strong, you become robust, you're more tough. You can't just quit like that, because it's constant value addition. You're constantly upgrading yourself, constantly exercising, constantly becoming better. You grow. Your knowledge is expanding, your wisdom is expanding, your understanding is expanding. Before, you didn't understand this business. Now you have better understanding of it. Your skill is constantly upgrading because you're committed to to value addition constantly. Those are the things that you pay attention to. You don't waste a lot of time on things that are not necessary, especially if you want to commit to achievement. You are not the one looking for information that will not help you. People are mastering a lot that will not change anything in their life. The things that you commit to master must be the things that will bring or that will help you to realize that future that you want. African nations are mastering things that have no relevance to their future. This is a continent that must industrialize, that must go for technology, that must go for a lot of things, but you see the things that we are mastering? Celebration of independence, funerals, politics, sports, those are the things that we are paying attention to constantly. It's not innovation, it's not creativity, it's not technology. We're going to space and we are still mastering traditional dance. It's amazing. It's amazing. That's why we're constantly struggling. The rest of the world is committed to things about their future. And we are committed to the things that nobody else wants except us. So add value to yourself or you become a slave. You go around begging because you refuse to add value to yourself. Add value. If that marriage is not working, add value to work. If the business is not working, add value to yourself to work. If the company is struggling, add value, you will stand. Whatever that you're involved in, commit to that. Sit down. What is it that I need to add to myself? What is it that I lack? What is it that I need to know? And when they come to your room, they come to your house, they will see it. But the things that you are listening to, the things that you're reading, the things that you're focusing on, it will show how committed you are to adding value to yourself. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you.